Well, hold on a second, motherfucker. I'm doing it. Hulker's doing this. You're not doing it.
Well, I didn't
You're not
say
doing it. Hulker's doing it.
I didn't
You
say I
ain't
was
doing
doing it. I just said I was just like, this is everybody's moment to get behind the scenes action of why, what we go through to start exactly at 7 o'clock.
Exactly. At 7 o'clock.
Eastern time.
All right,
every
we're
week.
playing DreadLore, a new tabletop role-playing game that rewards immersive roleplay. And tonight's game is Into Space.
Into space.
In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If their task is opposed or particularly difficult, they might have to throw down dice.
Or do a fencing duel.
The cast. The player characters are myself. I am Daniel. I play Private Burgess. Ken plays First Lieutenant Dolby Newman. Andrea as Private Telmus. The Arbiter, played by Bill. And special guest tonight, not in the script, Jazzy Cabbage.
Oh, am I supposed to be here?
And
here.
How are we doing, everyone?
how do you
We're
do
doing
acting in
signals. Am I supposed to steal second at some point?
All right.
Who?
Who's on third?
Thank you to the music, all lowercase letters. Thank you to the Patreons. Wait, Mr. Interrupt, right? Yeah, Mr. Interrupt and all lowercase letters. Patreons are Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, Daniel Holker, and thanks, Couchfire Media for media production, and thank you to DREADIES Productions for whatever they do.
Whatever they do.
No.
Yeah. All right.
No one knows.
And tonight's sponsor, we got a really good one. I
Who's our
found a
sponsor?
sponsor who is willing to sponsor this podcast, who's willing to sponsor the Red Writ, who's willing to sponsor
The Red
future, huh?
The Red.
Yeah, the Red Writ, as well as Into Space, the next 3 podcasts, and they're willing to sign a contract to guarantee a multi-year sponsorship. Okay, but you are not going to believe. You are not going to believe who I got.
Who'd you get, Holker? Holker
And all right.
Was that the sponsor? It was your absence?
Huh?
I said, was that the sponsor? Was it your absence?
Can you repeat? Can you repeat the sponsor, please?
Sure. All right.
I guess it's time to start the show.
It's pretty good. Holy shit! Harry Bunkum redeemed gifted a narrative point to who?
Narrative
To
point.
Cabbage. To Jazzy Cabbage. Jazzy,
Hey.
you get a narrative point.
Oh, yeah.
But Harry Bunkum, are you giving it to Cherokee Sioux or to Silas? Which one gets it? Uh-oh.
Wah, 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 wah.
Hey, by the way, you guys in the chat can gift points. Bam
Yes,
Baboon Monsoon says fish bowly.
Do you
He's a
realize you
subscriber.
have the chat on the stream, Ken?
Hopefully.
I do. It's a new feature that I've added into this so that we
Integrated
can.
features, eh?
Yeah, we can do a thing that we weren't able to do before, and now we are.
The narrative point goes to Cherokee Sioux,
Ooh.
which I actually thought it was SUE, like
Yeah, me too.
Sioux,
And it's
until you typed it.
Yeah, SIOUX. I noticed that last time, and I didn't change it, and I didn't want to change it, but then
Nope.
I guess now that we've pointed it out, I have to change it. It'll take more effort.
It was kind of a bit in my mind that y'all spelled it like a boy named Sue anyway. I just like internally thought it was a little bit funny. That's why I just never said anything.
It makes sense.
I mean, like, well, maybe it's just my upbringing. I just kind of assumed, particularly with the first name Cherokee, that it would be, Sioux, as in the Sioux Nation. But
Yeah, as in the people. I did make a bit about it in the first Into Space.
That requires me to remember what happened in previous games.
Well, it was funny because it was somebody that had never heard of Prime in the first place. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then we just moved on.
Right. So, how do I spell this fucking name? Jesus Christ. Last we left our group of fascist space marines. Right. In the event you're in the chat and you don't know what the fuck's going on, we've been playing this game for a while. Think of Starship Troopers. Basically, we're playing Starship Troopers. Just think of it like that. They are space marines. This campaign is called Into Space.
Into space.
We can play for about 15,000 sessions. The long and the short of it is, these space marines got a mission. It took them a long time to get to where they are in cryo sleep. They finally get there, and their mission is there is this colony that has broken off from the SSA, the Sol System Authority, with whom these space marines give homage. And so their mission is to pull them back into the fold somehow, through whatever means possible. Well, I did that in less than a minute. 2 episodes ago, there's about a 20-minute start recap if you guys are interested in watching it. Don't do that right now. All right. So the very last thing that you guys were doing, you were all in a cave. You're in a dungeon. There's a dragon. You're in this cave, this underground thing, because it's a cave, of the Resistance. They don't call themselves the Resistance. They call themselves, take a guess.
Gosh,
The Clad.
La Resistance is what they're called. Never said it out loud. It's got the acute accent and everything. Fucking hilarious. Anyway, you're in La Resistance's cave, and you have met several people here. The leader, whose name is Gostrom, finally met Gostrom. Their sort of attendant led you through the cave and whatnot. Their attendant's name is
Just a quick error,
Aladdin.
Is it fixed?
I guess.
It's the future.
Okay.
It's the future. It's fixed, Maxie. It's fixed.
Oh,
As you all split up, I should say that Katrina Telmus split off from the main group in her typical fashion to attempt to undermine all of your all's plans, because she's definitely not a bad guy. Even though she never plays bad guys that betray the group.
I never played bad
That is-
guys.
that
I
is
never-
not what she
no,
does.
Okay. I played the bad guy one time, sort of, depending on your point of view.
She's in the other cave, the barracks cave, with the 100+ soldiers / La Resistance members. And she's sowing dissent, discord, making backhanded deals with her family's rich company known as Telmar Shipping. Meanwhile, literally everyone else is in the main chamber. Think of like Dr. No. That's what it looks like. There's like this electrified lake There's computers in this little vestibule room, maps and stuff, because La Resistance has to have all of those things to resist the colony's leader, whom they don't agree with. Gostrom is there, this monkish looking person wearing robes, kind of a Bedouin look. And Dolby, Lieutenant Dolby Newman is talking to him. Skipp Trace is nearby, investigating all around. This is when Dolby, through his diplomacy, we'll call it, and never lying MO, never ever saying exactly what he knows. He knows the non-player character wants to hear, just so he can rationalize chopping their fucking head off. Dolby convinces Gostrom that you all are a beneficial force. You could team up with La Resistance. And Gostrom reveals herself to be not human. She pulls back her hood, and she kind of has this, imagine if you've seen Ex Machina, that's kind of what this person looks like. It's a woman in a robot body, and her face she's beautiful, but you can see the seams of the face, as in it's been like super glued to a metal chassis.
Looks like RoboCop when he takes his mask off.
Yeah, it looks like RoboCop, except, hotter, because this is science fiction, and everybody's hot in science fiction. Right. Almost everybody's in the cave. Hey, it turns out Silas is outside on your all's tank. This transforming
Burgess.
tank with Burgess. Burgess and Silas are outside, which we'll start probably there, actually. This tank, if you don't remember, it can transform into a couple transformations. One of them is a Johnny 5, except we call it Johnny 25 because it's around 25 feet tall. The Gen Z and millennials in the group will know. Baboon Monsoon, are we spreading democracy? Yeah, at this point in the future, they don't call it democracy anymore. They call it, what do you guys call it?
We're spreading avocado.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Across space. You guys should show the chat the SSA salute for the Prime Marine Corps. Come on! It's a thrusting motion. You have to
Now I'm just
really get in there.
Grabbing.
Yeah, you got to get in there.
I think it could start maybe on your heart and then just thrust up.
I'm giving it out. I'm just handing it out. Indiana Jones, hand it over.
The situation was you were trying to get to the colony of Novus Terra, and it wasn't such a great introduction. You guys attacked them immediately. Their capital ships. You disabled one of their capital ships, ran away, hid, and then got in Johnny 25 and were riding toward the colony when you picked up Silas picked up some interesting communique. Dolby put together that it's probably a resistance of the colony, and you guys found them. That's why you're here. The colony itself, Dolby, I don't know if you have told anyone any of this information, because in typical tabletop role-playing game fashion, you fucking players don't say anything and then you forget about it till 6 months later when I have to remember it and no one remembers it. At any rate, it's run by a dude named Confucius.
Confucius.
No, Confucius. Yeah, who's like Fidel Castro. Okay. As you're sitting there, Dolby, talking to Gostrom, finding out whatever the fuck it is that you found out. Silas, outside, you and Burgess on the tank. It's nighttime. There's very, very little light pollution in these here hills and mountains. You're in this very rocky desert in sort of the foothills and such. Think of the Devil's Tower or the Painted Desert or whatever. Boulders all over. And up ahead, steep incline into the cave where everyone went. You guys see, or I should say, Silas, you see, in the upper atmosphere, something entering the atmosphere, likely a ship of a pretty good size, fairly far away, but you can see it. Where it will land, maybe 500 to 1,000 miles away from your location. You can find from the telemetry with your robo gadgets and shit. And you're able, with your sniper rifle, to get an image of the ship once it's actually gotten low enough in the sky. Mind you, it is nowhere near you. Would you like to do that? I'm talking to Max.
Yes. I want to see.
Okay.
I want to know any details I can about this ship.
What do you bid? What character trait do you bid to do this properly and get all the details you wish to get? If you don't bid, you'll get a scant view. You will see something, but if you do bid, basically you can say, hey, I want to accomplish this, and then actually achieve it.
I want to bid my trait sharpshooter.
Sure. Describe, what does Burgess see as you do this? And the reptilian animals that live in the desert. Because there ain't nobody out here.
There's nobody. I'm going to use the scope of my sniper rifle to hone in on it and see any details I can.
Burgess, you might look up, seeing Silas doing this. Cloaked in darkness, maybe a bit of a silhouette against the myriad of stars and such. Silas, what you see come out of this sort of, I keep on wanting to calling it afterburn. Maybe it is afterburn. After burning, after an entry fire from orbit, a spaceship looks large enough to be a cruiser of sorts. The make of it, you don't immediately know. It does not look SSA, doesn't look Prime Marine Corps PMC, Prime Naval Brigade PNB, doesn't look Martian. It's not immediately recognizable. What does it look like? Have you seen Flight of the Navigator?
No.
You're done.
Actually, Dolby, that's pretty close to what I was actually thinking of.
Yeah.
Without that weird penis-looking thing off the front.
In the front? That's the covering.
Have the weird phallic-looking thing.
It just allows it to like peck in to the needs of. It's supposed to be a little evil. I mean, I guess I can augment it a little bit.
Is that a penis?
It's a condom of sorts, maybe.
You have to dock somehow.
Oh no!
But it's like this little slinky looking thing that all science fiction, they have, the umbilical cord. I think it's actually called umbilical. That, you guys know what I'm talking about? It looks like the jumping room that kids get these days. Yeah. And always something bad happens in it.
Like
okay.
cryobeds.
Yeah, like a cryo bed. Yeah, get in that cryo bed real quick.
Sleep for another.
You see this silver, sleek-looking, and large vehicle floating down. Perhaps anti-grav thrusters is what it's got, because you don't see any thrusters. Does look like it's armed. Does look like it's armored. and it descends rather quickly and out of sight. With the bid, it's, you would guess could guess a military vehicle. The size of it could transport lots and lots and lots of troops, or perhaps cargo. And putting all that together, it is likely a transport ship, just outfitted to be able to, exchange fire if need be.
I updated the cockpit. There you go.
It still has the penis on it.
I know. I updated the cockpit. They don't call it a cockpit because it's.
Oh my god!
It's now ribbed.
Stop it. For our pleasure.
I mean, it's always good to stay safe. You got to wrap it up if you're gonna stay safe.
That is a dangerous looking ship. What the fuck?
I don't get a narrative point for that.
I think you get like a negative narrative point for that.
Oh no!
What the fuck is that? It looks like a barnacle,
Mm-hmm.
like a space slug.
How else are you supposed to
tentacle.
make the bed?
Space tentacle.
The space tentacle. All right.
That's censored in parts in the East right now, just so you know.
Gary Bunkum says, "Can I give negative points?" You know what? Why not? Fuck. Okay, that's what you see, Silas.
Okay, so I immediately tell all of this to Burgess. I say, that ship is definitely some type of military transport. I think we need to tell them, because somebody else is definitely here.
Burgess stares at you blankly.
Amazing.
Burgess, you stare blankly.
Burgess, are you just staring blankly?
I have no idea. I can't see it. Yep. That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. Burgess, go tell them what I just told you. Do you remember what I told you?
No.
Okay.
Say it
Another
again.
ship here. There is another ship here. Definitely military. We need to find out what's going on. Tell them. Can you do
What,
that?
that thing over there?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Do you have any questions? Because I don't know how to help you.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. What are they?
I'll tell you when I get back.
Not how the. Okay.
So I go back.
Oh, yep.
I
And
stay
I
to see
walk-
if I can monitor and like if I see any more activity because that might not be the only ship that's coming in or going out.
Indeed, with your with that bid up, sharpshooter up, you can be scanning the skies around. Granted, the sky is, big. Right, so you could actually miss something. We'll have you throw down real quick. So it'll be your action die, which is a D10, and your wits, or your mind. Wits would be, you're looking around. Mind would be, you're not looking everywhere, but you kind of know where to look.
So that's a D10 and a D8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I haven't. For that.
The threshold that you're looking for, nighttime sky, this thing coming down, we're going to say is 3. So you want to get at least 4 successes to get a clean success. If you got 3, you'd have limbo, which would be a yes but situation.
I got a 5 and a 6.
So that is
I think
2.
That's 2, yeah.
Now you can use your ninja gear to get extra dice. You can activate abilities to, if they have upgrades, to gain automatic successes. You could use your proficiencies to re-roll. It's up to you.
Hold on, the dogs are absolutely going crazy.
Well, yeah, a lot of shit's going down. Meanwhile,
I'm just dealing with it because I've had knee surgery, or I would be the one dealing with it.
oh,
However,
meanwhile,
I cannot walk to the back door.
Burgess, you're heading up the incline. You get into the cave. Where are you going?
I'm going into the cave. Where last I was.
You have no idea what's in the cave, do you?
No.
All right,
I wasn't
good.
here. I also wasn't here last week.
I know you weren't. Burgess, the last time you saw Dolby and the rest of your team, they were going into this cave following a desert dweller. As you walk up and into this cave, of course, it's relatively dark. There's lights strung up on the here and there at irregular intervals, but just enough to be able to see along the wall. The wall's been reinforced. Looks like it was cut out rather quickly. And tunnels lead off left and right, smaller ones. There's the main tunnel. Do you follow the main tunnel, or do you go down
Yes. Follow
investigating the
the main
cave? As you do. Are you walking? Are you running? Are you skipping? What are you doing?
I'm strolling at a leisurely pace
Okay. Burgess, you're moving through this tunnel.
and whistling.
And whistling. Do you have your helmet on?
I would say yes.
Okay. As you're whistling within your helmet, almost imperceptibly, unless someone's like just next to you, or like maybe sitting down next to you at the coffee shop and trying to actually work on their code or their website, and you're fucking whistling, no one can hear you. What's the tune you're whistling?
It's a future space tune. Probably
I love
created by
that.
some AI with some weird lyrics that are just that make no sense.
Are you
But
whistling the
for
lyrics?
some reason they go
Sing
together.
it, sing it.
Sing it. You gotta do it.
All right. I went into space and it's really
That's your
dark.
whistling?
Yeah.
He's the bard of the group.
This is this fucking future. As that's happening. All right. Silas, you rolled a 5 and a 6. You got 2 successes. Are you going to attempt to get any more?
Yeah. Been my trait weathered soldier.
Is it to activate an ability that has upgrades?
The only other ability that I have is hacking tools right now, so that's it.
Are there any upgrades assigned to that?
Yeah, there's 2 upgrades to that.
All right, so how would hacking tools aid you in this? Scanning the skies
I
and
wonder
whatnot.
if I can hack into the scope of my sniper rifle to see better.
Okay. Tell me how that worked.
It's got to be some kind of digital scope, so I'm gonna plug my hacking tools into it and see if I can mess with the coding.
Okay. To do what?
To sharpen the image to see more details.
Sure. As that's exactly what you do, is you're sitting there, perhaps you've done this quite a few times, modded your equipment.
Enhance.
Enhance.
I want it to be just that. That's the whole thing.
It makes it easier in the future. No, I'm hacking, damn it. I'm hacking. Enhance. Is it really that easy? This is difficult. Shit.
It's difficult shit. Just lots of
Okay,
experience.
so that gives you 2 extra successes. That means you're at 4, and the threshold was what, 3? Boom.
That was
Within the atmosphere, you don't see any other ships. You do see some vapor trails here and there, as in ships that may have flown past within the last 20, 30 minutes. That makes sense. There is a colony, 500 miles away. As you enhance, and throw down your filter, feeling muted.
Sorry, that we have the live that we're directing other people to your live, and somebody popped up and chatted, so I was responding to them.
If you guys
There's a
are
lot
doing
going
other
on.
chat, do like a hand signal, like
I do that just organically.
it needs to be something like the chicken dance or something, or like maybe this.
No.
This.
Yeah. Have Jazzy like going or something.
Get Jazzy.
Okay, give you some jazz hands.
Be
Yeah.
jazzy.
Yeah, be jazzy.
Yes, please.
You see in the upper
Anyway, what were we
atmosphere-
doing?
In the upper atmosphere, as in probably in low orbit, another ship. It is grainy. It's very obviously very far away. That ship it looks more like a large shuttle.
Great.
So it's or a huge cargo container, perhaps.
Okay.
Not really sure what it is, but it is synchronous orbit, low orbit, and it's roughly the same sort of like material looking as this other ship. Back in the cavern, the Barracks cavern with Katrina Telmus. There's 100-ish resistance fighters, all eating all eating at tables and such around you. At this table, this long table where a mass of people are, and where you are, sitting across from each other, is Beefton and Calvin.
Beefton was the annoying one, right?
He has the long hair, blue eyes. Calvin's the bigger, hawkish, bearded fellow. So Calvin's the one who's more like the make Nova Terra great again type dude. And Beefton is more like Ken. So what? Come on. You put a cock on the ship, dude. Come on. I have to give you some shit.
I cut it off.
You gave
He
it the old
circumcised
bobbit.
it.
Is that beef?
Yeah,
More than a circumcision, dude.
this is Beefton, and this is Calvin.
Beefton looks exactly like what I would think a Beefton would look like.
I think Beefton was accused of
Very
looking
good.
like Tucker Carlson.
He
with
looks
long
like
hair.
Tucker Carlson with long hair.
He looks like Beefton. You have brought that character to life. Congratulations. I think you should get a pip or a narrative point or something. That's great.
Oh, Harry Bunkum just
you can
gave
give
him,
pips and stuff.
narrative point.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah, enhance.
Right, so that's Beefton.
Beefton.
Do we have a picture for Calvin?
Yeah, Calvin, we got
Where is he?
right here. I mean, he's not as developed as Beefton. He's got a beard.
Calvin looks
His
like
head is chopped a little bit.
Samples of the Western
see.
photographs that you can do, like a novelty thing when you're
Yeah.
on vacation.
Like
For
Technicolor. or
whatever
something?
reason, yeah, he looks like the examples on the wall.
He looks like he's a little sad. He's mean and mad. He's the mad
He was
one.
brought here for sure. He
Like,
did
he
not
didn't-
ask to come here.
He didn't want to be here. He doesn't like any of this stuff, and he's just. I think he's the second in command, or like I think he's like the troop leader of his like Boy Scout youth group, and so he tattletales on like this is metagaming. He tattletaled on Katrina to Aladdin.
Are you spending a narrative point for that?
No, I'm not.
No.
I need to.
I'm kind of.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the dogs before they disintegrate our door.
I mean, but that's what happened. I don't think.
Is that what happened? Is that what he did?
Yeah, Aladdin was not happy with. There's a real nasty look on Aladdin's face. Aladdin's face.
But did Beefton actually? Not Beefton. Did Calvin actually say that, or did I just?
Yeah,
describe
Calvin
it
said
as-
that.
Oh, he did.
Calvin messaged ahead of time and said, "Hey."
Yeah, it
Was
happened
it a
right as we
cutscene?
walked up.
Yeah.
But
That
it
was-
was,
that
In
was-
the middle of the
right
montage
as
when we were
Katrina
about to
took
meet them
off.
for the first time.
Yeah.
because they could.
do remember
but
that.
Beefton kind of coerced Calvin into being on Beefton's side, and so then they told Aladdin, and Aladdin was going to take her into where we were.
Ah, see, you guys remember more than I do. Right on. Okay, well, everybody gets a narrative points. I forgot all about that shit.
Well, admittedly, we'd had a few to drink at that point.
Yeah.
If you drop the load on narrative points, you get that's a trait or an advancement.
You
You get-
cannot drop the load on narrative.
Nothing.
Not narrative points. Let's say but you can only have 5 at a time.
Correct. Narrative points you get 5 at a time.
So what is a
Pips,
bundle of narrative?
5 at a
points
time.
called?
Pips, you can drop the load and gain a trait.
Well, in that
Right.
case, I'll
We call
spend
them
my
bones.
excess narrative point to say that they have beef Wellington in the cafeteria, and that's what Katrina's
Absolutely. Absolutely they do.
eating.
Beefton. Aladdin opens the door, the large sliding reinforced door to this room. You hear it open, Telmus. People are, talking, and it doesn't seem like they even look up. But you do hear it, the hydraulics and such of it. As everyone's murmuring about, well, the offer that you made. Beefton turns to you and says, okay. Pushes his hair out of his face. So what exactly is the deal that Telmar Shipping can make with us?
Well, I can't give you the exact details of a deal. I haven't actually started negotiating with either you or my corporation yet. What I can say is that I can help facilitate a mutually beneficial transaction and ensure that your product is distributed when and where you want it to go. And make sure you get a fair market price, because a lot of the other shipping corporations in the area are going to want to take advantage of the fact that you guys are in a compromised position.
Compromised.
You don't have a lot of support. You compromised in the sense that the Solar System Authority doesn't like you, so you don't have exactly, or at least currently, you don't have a lot of options such as it is in order to move your product. And there are other corporations who would be more than happy to take advantage of that and make money for themselves.
As there's more murmuring. You notice Calvin, when you're talking about this deal, seems to keep his mouth more shut. He's not broadcasting his thoughts, his feelings as readily as he was, or as readily as he seemed to be. Beefton, of course, is sitting there, and he's looking very confident, and like he's doing the Lord's work. Self-righteous. As he strokes his stubble. Well, that makes sense, but we do need some assurances. Who are you actually? You said your surname's Telmus, but are you actually a part of the corporation?
Yeah, I'm. Well, let's see. Last time, unless there's been a massive, change in terms of the shares of the company. Last I remember, I had about a 10% stake in the company itself, and my father's, obviously the owner and operator.
More murmuring and such. You can get the sense that they are considering what you're saying. You're not really sure if they're going to go for it, or what any of that means. Who these people are. The action is on you, though.
In that regard, I hope to be able to start negotiations here shortly. Obviously, our ability.
Now, hold on. I thought you said you couldn't negotiate.
No, what I'm saying, what I was saying was, I can't give any guarantees as to what the exact details of the deal is going to be because I haven't started negotiating yet. But either way,
go on.
But either way, my plan is to hopefully resolve the current situation with the SSA soldiers that I am traveling with in one way or another, and then be able to move forward with a streamlined negotiation process.
Beefton says, so then what do you need to start negotiations? You see he's attempting to placate Calvin, who is still sitting at the table, but is noticeably uneasy.
There are a handful of different ways we could do this. One, I could try and start negotiations now with a relatively unstable environment, not knowing, because no offense, I don't really know what the overall military situation is on the planet, or in terms of, whether or not you guys will win or whether or not the people in the city will win. So in that regard, I don't even know who necessarily the Telmar Shipping Corporation will be negotiating with. And then on top of that, trying to resolve the situation with the SSA to make sure they aren't sending any more people out this way to further destabilize the situation more than it already is.
As you say all this stuff, you can realize, Katrina, that you're speaking very rationally about your situation and the challenges that you face to accomplish these goals. Perhaps without tact or being aware of how bad it sounds. As the people around you believe you, you see several of them just turn and start turning away as Beefton and Calvin are sort of looking at each other back and forth. You can tell, you just told them, hey, I kind of got nothing. I mean, maybe if you win,
Well, no, but when and Katrina sort of seeing that on their face will say, that doesn't mean I can't start negotiations, but that's something to bring to the table for the Telmar Shipping Corporation, not knowing what the negotiating, the situation will be. Now, that being said, my goal is to help the SSA.
Fuck the SSA! You hear several people shout.
Eliminate the current authority on the planet and allow you guys to take control.
There's a fervor in the room you can feel. It's not like a riot or anything, but imagine a free speech area anywhere, right? There's a lot of hot topics going around. Katrina, you realize you're talking to the rebels in their cave. Okay, this is what we need. A bid to what are you trying to do with this scene? How do you want it to go? Or what do you want to actually communicate to them? If you don't want to bid, that's fine. That just means that what you've said is going to take its natural course.
Okay, I'm gonna bid. It's not crazy if it works. To say,
Fair.
basically, all I'm trying to communicate to them is that my goal is to make sure that whoever comes out on top, the situation with the SSA is taken care of. They're not going to be sending any more soldiers their way. And my preferred goal is to make sure, make sure the SSA isn't sending any more, soldiers their way to take care of the problem, quote unquote, and to make sure that they get fair shipping distribution of their products and fair, prices for their product. And then secondly,
All right, we're gonna stick with one for this. I also build a whole spaceship and a town before that happens.
Well, and secondly, that my goal is to put them in control of the planet, but that we are willing to make sure that the planet is taken care of regardless of who's in power.
That's what you're trying to accomplish here. Okay, as you say all the things that you just said, we're going to make you throw down on this. I know I've gone back to throwing down, Ken, but this is a tense situation. Here are the stakes. Another failure means they mob you. That you lose their trust completely. Lose their wow, I can't speak. You lose their trust completely. You're clearly the enemy and a snake. They try to kill you. That's an utter failure. So if you roll a 1 and a 1, so 1 on your action, 1 on your aspect, that's what happens. Avoiding that is probably very easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Failure means you have communicated your ideas, and there are a few of these resistance fighters that are on board. There's a few that are wishful thinking and that kind of thing, but really what you do is cause a stir. They're not going to be attacking you and such, but you basically went into a Trump rally and started trying to have a rational argument. Sorry. Or downtown LA and started trying to have a rational argument. Sorry. Some people are not going to be talked to if you don't, wave their flag. Okay, success, degrees of success. Clean success here will mean Beefton and Calvin maybe not 100% sold, but this is top of mind idea for them. This is actually a good idea that they would like to see happen. You have some legitimacy. That's clean success. All right. The threshold for this is 4. So clean success is a single. Ken, what are you drinking?
Yeah.
Same thing I drink every week. A little
Water?
bourbon.
Oh, bourbon.
No, I got the same old bourbon I drink every week.
Are you drinking that Evan Williams again?
I mean, I don't want to just give them free advertising. I'm hoping to get a bourbon sponsorship.
We need a bourbon sponsorship. Hulker, who is our sponsor again? Who is our sponsor again, Hulker?
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's so good.
God damn it.
I love those guys.
They're great.
They're my favorite.
They're great.
So good.
You're gonna love working with them.
They're really good guys. Drizzle, what do you think? What are you drinking?
Same old Miller Lite.
The champagne of
No, that's High Life.
shit beers. I know it is. Jesus. Jazzy and Max, what are you guys drinking?
Seltzers.
Kroger brand
yeah.
seltzers.
Are they
have Cottonmouth?
Seltzers
Yeah.
or are they seltzer.
No.
Oh, they're not alcohol. I had a really bad episode with my heart last Monday, so I don't want to fuck with it right now.
Yeah,
And alcohol
don't do that.
makes it to be wonky. So like,
Yeah.
I basically last Monday I laid in the bed. I went to work for an hour and a half, and then I came back, and I went back to bed.
Yeah.
Your heart rate was like all over the field. It was pretty ridiculous. It was like 130 resting, and I was like, maybe you should not leave your bed.
Yeah. Now drink seltzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes you feel good, do it.
All right. What'd you get, Andrea?
I'm gonna bid Infamous to activate expert pilot. Basically because I can understand the shipping logistics of the of the distribution of the product.
That's a bit of a stretch. Convince me.
Yoga. Well, okay. No. I'm trying to like I understand in my head. I'm just saying, like in my head, I understand it, but like trying to word it, like probably the easiest way to word it for me would be like how the Millennium Falcon doing the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs is impressive, not because because they shortened the distance significantly of the time it took to get the spice to its location.
Are you using fanfic to explain this bit?
No.
That is
Kessel
some
Run-
retroactive. You know that is not the original.
Yes, it is.
One. No, it's not. No,
Oh my god.
No, it's not. The Kessel Run had nothing to do with black holes when Star Wars came out. Bullshit. George Lucas had it all figured out as he's fucking gobbledy turkey neck motherfucker. No.
Point being is about
No.
importance
This is how it
of being
makes
able
sense.
the importance of being able to do it in a short amount of time because of being an expert pilot reduces the costs of the market, the value or reduce the cost of getting the product to market.
Okay. So essentially what Katrina Talmas's angle, no pun intended, angle is here. Come on, really guys? It's funny. Is the logistics of being quicker.
Yeah.
More efficient, maybe avoiding pirates and SSA patrols and this kind of stuff.
A lot of good at Ditter.
Okay. I dig that.
I was in cryostasis, okay? That's not my fault.
I dig it. What is the successes you got?
Just a regular success, so 4.
Okay, so you limbo. No. It was threshold was 4. So you're limbo. It's a yes but situation. Excellent. Beefton, and Calvin stroke each other's beards. Indeed. It could work. There's some grumbling. People are not totally convinced. We've heard about this. We've heard the SSA's lies before. All of this is going on. But they can fight their own battles. The unintended thing that occurs out of this. As you're getting up and from the table there, it's that moment that I'm going to make you get up from the table. We'll say you're standing. I feel like I'm picturing Katrina, which is you, standing, hands flat on the table, talking to these guys who are sitting across.
Yeah.
Aladdin behind you comes up. And somehow this person's voice, unibrow, this person's voice cuts through the din of people talking and hollering and all these things. And if this worked, they say, if this plan of yours worked, Katrina Talmas, do you turn and look at Aladdin as they're talking? She has that face that Ken has posted. This passive, alien almost face. What then would the SSA do?
The SSA has an inherent interest not to disrupt the business of Telmar shipping. That's the benefit, so to speak, of what my grandfather did. We have a working relationship with the SSA, and in that regard, we're able to negotiate with them on, if not equal footing, with at least some leverage.
So you believe that the SSA would stop their patrols to Novus Prime?
I do, yes.
And they would not attack or fund the attacks on Telmar shipping, taking our resources to and fro?
I don't, just in terms of pure economics, I don't think it would be worth it for them to do so. As long their main concern is getting the product to market, as long as it's being done in a way that satisfies them, interfering with that process would cost them more than it would benefit them.
And what would stop them from saying the resources were stolen by pirates, paying Telmar off? Then what would we do? Does Telmar shipping have the means to ensure the transit of these resources?
Yes. We don't operate this far out without the ability to defend ourselves.
She arcs an eyebrow, which is her whole eyebrow. As they turn on a heel and start walking away. A few paces more, turns back over the shoulder. Your lieutenant wants you. You should follow me, Telmus. And she continues on, whether you follow or not.
And that, with that, Katrina follows them.
Harry Bunkum gave you a narrative point, Andrea.
Hey.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna use it to say that though the beef Wellington is in a recyclable tray, and I pick it up with me, fork and all, and just keep on eating on it as I'm going back to the group. Yeah, there we go.
All right. You do. In the actual cavern, Dolby, Skipp, Trace, where are you guys in this cavern?
I am probably
looks like.
Yeah, I'm probably about 6 inches away from the face of this AI robot, or this self-proclaimed AI robot.
We are
called Gostrom.
We are in the smaller war room in the place, and
Yep.
I am kind of sort of across the room where I could take out the most amount of people if I needed to.
Yep. For anyone who wishes to know what this looks like, there is actually, Katrina, as you walk into the room, this actually makes sense for you. There's a winding stair that leads down to a yet larger cavern, 30 to 50 feet at certain places in height. It's humid down here. There's static in the air, literally static. If your shoulder or your skin touches the wall, you get shocked. As you near the bottom of the stair, you see this dark pool of ostensibly water. It's this brackish, bottomless pit of water. You cannot see the bottom. Every so often, out of the corner of your eye, you see static dancing across like ripples. This pool takes up a good portion of the floor, which is recessed into what looks like a bottomless pit. There's a walkway that circles the room on the far side, so from the stairs, and walks all the way around the room. And on that side, where there's actually stone and rock, an incline that leads up to a flat place, several tables with computers, it looks like a imagine the Empire Strikes Back on Hoth base, how they have their maps and all kinds of stuff on the tables. A little bit of a war room. There's a vestibule, that sort of smaller room that leads off. You can just see in it. It's a much more private room. It's where Dolby and Gostrom are standing. I don't know if you would immediately know who Gostrom is, but it looks like someone of authority. And yeah, you see Skipp Trace there. There is
And
one
Cherokee.
exit. Huh?
Cherokee's in there too.
Oh, and Cherokee. There's one exit. It's pretty obvious. Where the war room is in this main chamber, the exit is, there's an incline, goes straight, or not straight up, an incline of a pretty good degree, and the mouth of a cave. You cannot see out the mouth, maybe just a sliver of sky, and you can hear the whirring of a spaceship engine that is, on and heating up, or has already heated up, I should say. Dolby and Skipp. Cherokee, where are you? I know you're in this room, but where? Are you with Skipp or are you with Dolby?
I'm directly behind Dolby.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you're with Dolby. Right. And you guys are in the main cavern where the tables and such are. No, I thought they were in the small room, and Skipp, you were in the main room.
We were all together.
No, we're all in the small room.
We're all in the room.
Oh,
we're all in
okay.
the control center. Apparently, there's several people in the control center, and they decided to have the meeting with armed Marines and their control center for some reason. So,
Yeah. Maybe they
Okay.
trusted you.
They do. They clearly trust us.
Right. Maybe Dolby bid something several times and gained their trust. Maybe this is what happens every time you kill people. You Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker. Speaking
One
of
does
Katrina,
what one can.
or Katrina left. Well, she would not see you guys since you're in this little thing. All right, action's on you all. As Gostrom pulls down her hood, and you see, like Ex Machina, this robot body woman. Her hair is are like metal tubules that come down. The chassis looks ornate. There's, for lack of a better word, runes that are almost like tattoos etched into her metallic skin. It kind of looks like the Borg, but pretty. Like, think of the Borg Queen, but pretty. Borg Queen's actually
I'm gonna bid.
not grotesque.
So resistance really is futile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bid one of my flaws senile to not realize that she's a complete robot and shrug off the fact that she just told me she was an AI, which doesn't exist.
Clearly something in the, yeah, she said she's from the Clad, and you guys have talked about word choice, that the languages have diverged in the hundreds of years you've been away, and through cryo and all these things, you've already had these misinterpretations. Clearly, the words she is using, they don't mean the same thing. Like, you give her a big fucking grain of salt on this.
Yeah, no, she's an edit.
Well, and also, kind of, going back on that AIs don't exist. You just got, recently got back from re-education, so like that probably is extra hard in your brain that, AIs aren't real.
Yeah. Speaking of, Skipp and Cherokee. Neither one of you are Burgess.
Are you sure?
Really fucking hard. It's like that film, Being John Malkovich. Like, everybody Burgess.
Or just purchase.
Yeah, you all are there. What are you doing? You see Dolby kind of step back.
I'm still poised and ready. Like, I'm looking nonchalant, but the minute Dolby tells me to go, I'm going. And I know. Oh no, you're fine. Because I had the flashbacks to Whisper Base, so even though I'm freshly reprogrammed, some of it's seeping through. Go ahead.
Can you tell me some more about the colony that was destroyed? Why did they destroy that colony?
You're asking
Gostrom.
Having revealed herself, you see her green eyes that sort of slowly shift to blue, and then a brown, and then back to green. Not like a light show, but like very gradually shift. Or perhaps it is the light in here. Well, as I said, there was a civil war.
You've got the
Was
brain.
that you, or was that the previous naval brigade that came here? Was that the SSA that was involved in that, or was that Confucius, or none of the above? Like, who were the actors involved in that?
As you sort of ask the question and lead it on and ask many questions all at the same time, she sort of pauses, twitches a little bit. It was a war with... It is complicated. What do you mean?
I want to understand the situation down here on the planet. Clearly, you're not aligned with Confucius, and I was wondering if that was you trying to find your way. Are you surviving here? Are you actively against Confucius? Are you running?
What do you bid?
I bid.
It's like too many
No,
inputs. Too many.
My demeanor, which is no BS.
Dolby, as you
I came in bloody. I came in hard. Yeah. So
yeah, asking very directly this question. I do not wish for Confucius to gain any harm. You see her, like, obviously struggling. The Civil War was fought because of your kind, who came here.
I understand that.
Captain Harold Grimm shot a tactical nuclear weapon from space.
Yeah.
There was warning, I believe. As to his motivations, I don't know them.
You are not. So, when you say that you are not aligned with Confucius, you don't want him harmed.
Harm may have to come to him.
Yeah. Are you guys from similar areas in Axminster? Or are you I don't know anything about Axminster. We've been at relatively peace, I guess, since the armistice. I would like to bid to understand. I'm going to use my Sec 3 clearance to bid what I know. What do I know about the Axminster armistice?
The Axminster cluster. Axminster cluster is pretty far away. As to how big that quote-unquote colony is, you don't know. Initially, it was around 100 light years from Sol. So it was pretty far. At least that was their goal. They made outposts much nearer, so within 20 light years of Sol. But it's thought that the hub of that society is around 100 light years away. To put that into perspective, that means they're huge. Like, they span literal star systems. So this is the Sec 3 stuff. There is the idea that the Axminster cluster is the home of the Clad. It's not known if the Clad are just what they call themselves or if they're a terrorist group that just hates the SSA. That's not known. The armistice occurred a long time ago, and it was never officially a war. With Sec 3 clearance, there's been constant, or I should say intermittent fighting the entire time. Basically, they left, they colonized this place. A couple hundred years later, envoys were sent, and when they were sent back, Axminster stated, we're not a part of the SSA, we're our own thing. We left, and that was a part of the deal. It was humanity going to start a new thing. It just so happened that they're rich in resources, and apparently, in that 150 years, had gained quite a bit of technological advances. The other thing is they're perfectly fine with artificial intelligence because they're not the SSA. So, of course, they called it robotic intelligence. Yeah. So the armistice-wise, the SSA is absolutely trying to take over Axminster cluster, and has been the entire.
But the what I've been told is that it's still in effect, even if we're trying to retake.
It is nominal.
Yeah.
Officially, there's no war. It's a colony. Yeah. There's an armistice. The deals are going well and all these things. Well, by Sec 3, no, there's if you see one of their ships, you blow it up or attempt to take it.
Sure.
But don't let anybody know because there's no war. Don't invade.
So,
don't get found out.
So, since the armistice and our colonies have been at peace with each other, I'm surprised to see this far out in the black. I mean, we're pretty far off the grid. What brings you to this sector? I mean, this is clearly an amazing planet, but we don't have any interest in ruling in the SSA this quadrant. We just need some resources to be shipped back with us. So if we can work together and dismantling Confucius's hold on this planet, I believe there could be wiggle room for an ongoing peace between our two communities.
Cherokee, I'll give you a bid or a throwdown as you're standing there.
Okay, so I am gonna bid native. Or no, I'm gonna bid cultured bitch because that's got a +1. I am gonna start pushing the issue about the RI versus AI thing, and I want to know why they want to change locations.
You mean change locations in what way?
Weren't they trying to take us to the next place?
This
the ship running outside.
Oh! I see.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm wanting to know the reasoning behind us relocating, or I'm wanting to know why they want to take us to a secondary location. That's what I'm after.
Well, let's deal with first the bid or the throwdown, because this is a reaction since Cherokee's right there, to notice something about Gostrom. So you can either bid and automatically get it, or you can throw down, and so long as you get one success, you get it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the +1 on culture bitch here. Like I've seen this before. Most people would not have seen this, but I've seen this weird monstrosity in cave paintings and other documents that I've seen.
As Dolby is talking, Cherokee, you with your height advantage can have an interesting perspective. Looking down on Gostrom, you see her metallic skin acting like skin as she raises her brow at what Dolby's saying. Like he's saying the sky is fluorescent green. Like he's saying something she doesn't consider truth. And she's not shocked, but it surprises her. It's like when...
The fact that he believes
it's like when
surprising.
Right. Yeah, it's like if someone were to say, there's no such thing as, bullets. And you're like, what? What?
Like a flat earther.
Huh? Yeah, like a flat earther.
Flat earther.
Yeah. Like she's looking at him
Ron.
kind of like he's crazy, just for a moment, for a split second. And there's an array of emotions on her face. It's not hostile, but it definitely is a surprise. She continues talking. Of course, you're welcome to engage. I think I understand what you're saying, Lieutenant. It's best if we are not here, though. As you see her like concentrating, like thinking to herself, maybe struggling with something. It's hard to tell. I'm not going to fucking ask you to bid.
I would like to bid.
Anyway. Oh, would you? Okay.
Yeah, I would love to bid. I would love to bid regular.
Mm-hmm.
And I as you know, off I'm clearly lying and all the balloons are going up. I'm hoping to put an air of make them feel comfortable and maybe suspect that things have changed in the SSA and our stance towards
Clever.
Stance towards robotic intelligence. Considering that we're having so much fun with Alfred and I've got her guy Willem, and I said that I allied with him. So this may be like a new policy that that our the SSA has on robotic intelligence, because maybe up the chain we've decided that to embrace instead of rely on the older ways of humanity knows best.
What do you say to her to make this happen?
Gostrom, the SSA isn't what it was 5 years ago. We are in the process of our own matters at home, and there have been factions that have been split in the SSA, which I can't divulge because that would be clearly a security risk, and I may have said too much, but I think humanity feels like... Let me rephrase that. As you can see, I travel with corporate sponsorship of the Telmar system, and we feel like it's in our best interest to embrace the future and everything that goes with that.
What are you saying, Lieutenant?
Well, you said something that really captured my imagination, that there are people back home that might agree with you and that you are a rebel, but that you see a future where possibly our community and your community could get along together.
Cherokee, since you have this bit up, you can see Gostrom. There's a look of disbelief on her face that slowly softens into pipe dreamland. The thought of maybe, just maybe, he's telling the truth.
Our fringe unit, Gostrom. I mean, we've been reprogrammed and trusted with new information. It's not unlikely that we can find a middle ground where we understand the usefulness of both parties and create a trade relationship where, you know, you're basically an visual outpost to the SSA and nothing more. Like, we could just check in.
If this is true, she's looking at both of you. I think a great thing could happen here on Novus Terra. We need to leave this this enclave. A clad ship should be landing soon. They don't know that I have sided with La Resistance. I was sent here by them to assess the situation. But what is not known of the Clad is we are not of one mind. For a long time, I give credence, of course, and homage, of course, to the mistress. But we needn't be in a long war with the Soul System Authority, for we are brothers and sisters, or were once. As she outstretches her robot hand, extends it to you, Dolby.
I'm going to step in front of him and take it so he doesn't have to.
Thank you.
Ooh. As you do, couple things, Cherokee. Since you have this bit up as well, you're watching her. You notice the hand is obviously high tech, intricate. Probably the digits can move differently than a human hand can. It's based off of a human hand, but the digits can probably move backwards and forwards and all kinds of, like Wonka Vader fingers. There's something on the pads of her fingers. They look like electrodes of some sort. And oddly enough, granted you have your suit on, so it's not skin to metal, but her hand has some give to it, as in the metallic skin responds like skin. She is very strong, much stronger than she looks. However, especially for someone who's like 5'4".
We're like having a weird standoff right now, like a couple of old men at the Dairy Queen, like shaking each other's hand way too fucking hard.
Oh yeah. Cherokee, as you've probably done this before, you are stronger than she is. Like a lot. You're
I mean, I never intentionally hurt anybody, so it's like I think I realize in the moment that it's like, oh shit, okay, this is no longer like a bit.
Right. At the same time, she's likely stronger than, like, for example, a normal human, a normal Zen. Like, that's a thing for sure. As she releases your hand and such. Come, we have a ship waiting for us. Katrina, this is about the time that you are being led down with Aladdin. As I said, the Captain Grimm is still being held.
Do you have him under your holding? Are you holding him, or is that Confucius that is holding him?
Confucius has him. Once Grimm's counterpart betrayed him and made a deal with Confucius.
So was that Moriarty or Axel?
I don't know.
Okay.
He was locked away I don't believe the former Marines wanted to kill their own. Although, as she sort of looks off to the side, you get the idea of her looking towards the battlefield that you guys rolled through. They clearly were unafraid to defend themselves.
Right. Indeed.
And comms just to Dolby, I'm gonna say real quick, Moriarty and the other one are a part of Confucius' crew, not Captain Grimm's.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I was just wondering if Grimm knew anything about either one of those people.
Okay.
Well, it's certainly good to know that we have potential allies on this planet. I am under orders to bring Grimm, now that I've been told that he's created a war crime by unleashing nukes on a civilization. I will be needing to bring him in and put him on trial for him to pay for what he's done.
Gostrom nods, a curt nod of understanding. Shall we then? The clad ship has arrived, likely, or will be here soon.
And is this clad ship, or is that what is the clad ship for?
As you see her like walking around you, and she gives basically a hand signal, like, point at one of the officers who starts, closing down things, and terminals are going off and into sleep mode and password protected and all this. She's talking over her shoulder. The clad vessel comes on a regular schedule to pick up the ore, cobalt, copper, as well as several other things. Sometimes, and she kind of turns, general communique and whatnot.
Could you, if you have some connection and they don't know you're a rebel, could you get me on that ship?
There's a pause. She actually stops moving for a moment as the room has come alive. People are pulling stuff out, and they're not cleaning the room. It's going to stay here. It's obvious, but they're taking essential things out. Looks like a couple, Skipp Trace looks like a couple of the officers will actually stay. Or more than a couple, I should say. I don't believe you'd want to do that.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. That would be very dangerous, wouldn't it?
Looking at you three, she surveys the room. Cherokee, Skipp Trace, back at you, Dolby. You catch her eye glance down at your laser sword. It's the first time she's seen it. It was just bound to happen. And she looks back up at you. There's a dangerous look in her eye.
I'm going to bid Drunk to have her notice that Dolby doesn't visually look like he's got everything there. He probably looks a little smaller in his outfit. His clothes are probably fitted just a little bit too big on him. He's got just a little belly. Or for a space marine, his belly is, and he's older than maybe. So and I'm gonna just kind of stumble off to the side, like I don't have all of my facilities.
If you are on an errand of diplomacy, they may listen. Again,
Well, no,
the hope that looks in her. You see the hope.
right. But this is your ship. I mean, these are your people.
This is not my ship.
Your like you say you're a rebel, but you're not really a rebel. You guys are all together. Like if you really want peace, I mean, peace is my goal, my life goal, and this is honest. I don't want them to send another Marine ship here. I just don't want them to do it. I don't want more death. I don't want any of that. I want a way, I know that you don't believe us, but there have been some things that happened back in the Prime area that really has changed the way we look at the world, and that we should be able to live together. So I guess I just want to assess the situation down here. I might be old and I would rather be at home eating potato chips and watching Holovision. But I got a job to do.
Pretty much everyone that's going to leave has already left the room. They are not waiting for you to talk, as she is listening to you. She stopped. She nods. And walks out of the room.
Oh, is there anybody else like you? Goshram?
She turns. That is an interesting question. Come with me. As you can tell, she's not going to sit here waiting.
Sure. All right. We'll follow along. We'll follow along with Goshram. I need to get to the city. I need to contact an operative there. Is there a way that you can give us a secured line where we can communicate further and meet?
She's giving out some orders. The way she commands, you might note, Dolby. She doesn't shout. She barely even talks. It's more just pointing. Like everybody kind of knows what she means. She turns. You have an operative in the city.
Well, I mean, that's pretty standard. We always have black ops.
What do you bid?
Well,
you will need to throw down for this bit of intrigue. This bit of lying. Also, Skipp, I'm gonna say Cherokee, you caught on pretty quick. Skipp, I don't know if Skipp did or not to Dolby and Cherokee's subterfuge. That something has changed in the SSA, that things insinuated between RI/AI and the SSA are different now. This is borderline sedition type stuff. So I need a bid or a throwdown.
My bid
Skipp
is
to kind of get it, to go along with it, or to understand what was going on.
To be fair, though, I'm coming at it from an angle of like that they send.
Cherokee's fine. Cherokee's fine.
Oh, I was like, hey.
No, I'm talking about Skipp.
You just are the ones that solve problems. That they don't want to know how it happened.
Yeah,
I'm.
Cherokee was right there, right at with Dolby running the con, but Skipp was away. He's like 30-40 feet away, and some other shit has happened with Skipp Trace that might shake his trust.
I am bidding my motto. Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us the why. You finally get an opportunity.
Well,
tell me why. Tell us the why.
Because in hearing him say this stuff, and I know that it's contrary to what the reprogramming is. He is my captain right now. I figure that he's doing what he needs to get the mission done.
Katrina, you are there. Holy shit, camera's backwards. You're exactly where I said you were. I was going to actually move to Silas, but they're off at present. When they come back, we will move to Silas. Yeah, action's on you guys.
Gotcha.
Do you want me to throw down?
Oh yeah.
Bid? So I because I noticed everybody going, my gut reaction is to keep, because I still haven't asked the operative. I haven't asked all the questions that I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use gut reaction, which is a flaw, to activate my authoritarian presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
so
throw
to
down.
self-apply, which is what this is all about. Threshold is 3.
Okay.
Sorry, threshold is shit. Threshold's 5. We're gonna say threshold 3 though,
Threshold is
because because you have you've done a
like
lot.
3 or 4 traits. Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a lot to actually gain a well-being and a trust and all these things. So it's lower the normal threshold.
Okay. So that is, you said 5?
No, it's 3.
3? So that's,
Yeah.
I got 4.
Yeah. Clean success. As you say what you do about the operative, and Gostrom nods. It does make sense. Confucius had always underestimated the prime Marine Corps. The Clad usually doesn't. But they do think that they are superior in intelligence.
Sure.
I'm not surprised you have an operative there.
Well, I have an operative that is aligned with you on my ship, so I think we can work together. I'm pretty sure that I can communicate with you if I need to. But I don't want to communicate in that way. Can you give me your codes for communication? And we'll go our own ways as we update.
I need those digits.
Yeah, I need your digits.
She nods at one of her subordinates who comes over. You can tell, or I should say, Cherokee can tell when he's there that Aladdin is not happy about this. As the officer gives Skipp Trace a set of basically like an SSH key to go into a encrypted communication. You can reach me here. I will respond.
Okay.
Within good time.
That's fine.
That lets you know it is not directly to her.
Yeah, that's fine. I will update you with our progress as we move forward.
I hope to meet you again, Dolby, Skipp Trace, Cherokee Sioux, Katrina Thomas.
And has this base been compromised? Should we GTFO?
No, it has not been compromised.
Okay.
However, and she kind of pauses, it is time for us to leave. As she starts to walk out, on the tank, Vesper, who is running the tank, Silas, speaks to you with his echoey voice. The little blue eye alights. It kind of like, almost like an eyelid backwards. As a desert dog has attacked you.
Very happy one. Injured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had surgery last week.
All of you were injured. As Vesper says, Silas. Private, corporal Silas.
Yes.
We are receiving a communication from the cave.
Excellent. What is it?
Do you wish to hear it?
Yes.
As moment, and there's some static, and you hear a woman's voice. I hope, Corporal Silas, that we will meet again. And it cuts out.
Oh, great. All right.
Nothing eerie about that.
Nothing eerie about that. Do I know who that is?
No.
Choice. Trixie, how do you feel about it?
You're crushing me, dog.
Silas, action is on you at present since you're alone.
Okay.
On the tape.
Has anything at all changed in the sky? I've seen the two ships. Has anything changed? Because I'm realizing that I sent Burgess in with half the information.
Yep. Yeah. Silas, you also might realize that one, Burgess doesn't know where he's going, and two, you could have just used your communication. But regardless, he's gone. The ship descended past the where you can see it, past the mountain. The ship in orbit is synchronous orbit, so it hasn't moved. You'll see through your enhanced many times hacked zoom, it looks like there's beacon lights. It's all grainy, and it's like, what's a really low resolution, Ken?
120 by 120.
Yeah, it's like 120 by 120. It's just blocks. It's like PS1
crushed.
That's more like Game Boy.
Yeah, it's Game Boy.
Trixie, honey bun chase. Is it going to rain in the tri-state area or something?
I think so.
Speaking of, you will also see pass near to, and when I say near, I mean very relative. This is space terms. You see a sort of blocky something move past behind that transport ship that's in low orbit. As you're sitting there, thinking about it, getting the telemetry and whatnot, it is likely a capital ship. Also in orbit. We'll say that since you bid and whatnot, you can tell it is a old P&B, so Prime Naval Brigade ship. Old, maybe a couple 100-year-old capital ship.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use my communication to tell Dolby all of this, and also tell him that Burgess is somewhere in the cave.
Do it. You guys are in game.
All right. Dolby, there are two ships out here. One has just landed that seems like it's some sort of cargo ship, and one is in synchronous orbit.
Great.
And there's a third one that seems to be old Navy ship. Not
Sure.
the store. Not that we know what that is.
There are 3 ships out here?
Yes, there's 3 ships. Also, Burgess is somewhere in the cave, so that's a problem for later, I'm pretty sure.
Message Burgess. Oh, message Burgess. Burgess, we need to evac back to the crawler. Please respond.
Yes, Lieutenant. On my way back. Oh, Lieutenant. There's another ship. That way. It's landed.
Copy, Roger that.
Yeah,
Burgess,
amazing.
Burgess, over.
Over there.
Over there.
Copy, Roger that. Will, I'm going to message Wilhelm.
Yep. Yes,
Wilhelm?
yes, Lieutenant.
Can you track a way through the canyons to the capital city? by the ocean. Maybe a way that we're not directly seen by anybody. No radar, no anything. If it takes a little bit longer, that's fine.
There's a moment. You want and to take the crawler. Where? Air.
To a route to the city that involves the most mountains that it is possible for us to traverse.
Yes. On it. It.
All right, let's meet back at the crawler.
Echo.
Who left their mic on? Like
Burgess, indeed. it's fucking engineering. He's like, oh shit.
Damn it, engineering.
And then the echo finally stops.
You know, spend a narrative point. We can actually do that. So
I got an extra.
Burgess.
That's funny. Brick's been paying too much attention, spying on us.
Burgess, you find yourself in having taken a wrong turn in a windy part of the cavern. It's a dead end, but you did find an entire room full of boxes.
I have arrived.
Cardboard boxes.
Let no box
Can I
be
use a narrative
unturned.
point to say that those boxes are in the back of the ship that's leaving?
No. We're not, that's chaos.
That'd be so funny. Burgess accidentally
Burgess, what do you
ended up on
do?
their ship.
I start looking over the boxes, rattling them, seeing what's in there, maybe trying to open one or two.
Yeah, you do. Mostly it's supplies, dry goods and such. You do find some munitions.
I radio back to Lieutenant Dolby. Lieutenant Dolby, I have lost my way, but I have found boxes with supplies, and I am currently opening them. Over.
Affirmative. Burgess, Private Burgess, I'll need you to return back to the crawler. Please leave the boxes undisturbed for this time.
Cut to Burgess in a room full of opened and busted boxes. Several he stomped on. Dry goods and straw everywhere.
All right. I am.
Can I use a narrative point so there's one packing peanut in his hair when he gets back?
Yes.
If he gets back.
If he gets back.
If there's not a box revolution,
I am going to bid Mohican Run. To try and get back.
I love that soundtrack.
A very large squashmallow.
All right. As you Mohican Run out, shooting the evil native tribes who burned alive your friend. Anyway, do you take the munitions with you or not?
I take munitions, probably some food, anything else I can carry reasonably.
Okay. Roll a d12 and a d6.
Sweet baby.
I got a 12 and a 6.
Wow. That's as high as you can possibly get.
Over.
Dab my eyes. No. Okay, you find 6 grenades. All of the stats are in the thingamajig. the Splat book online if you guys want to look at it.
Grenades.
Grenades. And
Also,
you find you find an interesting looking device. It looks like a wand, maybe like the size of a short staff, so 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. At the end, there's an ornate like spout, and it seems to hook into with a hose to a small, like very thin tank that could be fitted onto the back.
Wow. I could throw this at someone. Or I could like...
As in, it could integrate into your suit, actually.
Whoa. Wait, it integrates into my suit?
Yeah, it can.
All right, I'll
You
try.
get that plug and play marine armor.
Yeah, I'll plug it in.
By Hasbro Games.
As you plug in this tank onto the back, fate roll.
Roll.
Who wants to be whoa. I wants to be fortune. Who wants to be false fortune?
I'll be false fortune.
Andrea's
So I'm not
false
doing great on my roll.
fortune. Who's fortune?
I'll be fortune. I'll be
right.
fortune.
So, here are the stakes. Fortune. It is, in fact, Dragon's Breath, a.k.a. a flamethrower. A space flamethrower.
In space. That works in space.
Space.
It works in space. In the vacuum of space.
Space.
Where there's no oxygen.
Yeah, you
Supplies the oxygen. Hey, the sun has made up lots of fire.
It would be fueled by something other than oxygen. Anyway, you guys are space marines. You have a space flamethrower. You have a laser sword. Anyway, if it's false fortune, it's a netic suit. So it's a bit of an exoskeleton. But it makes you cybernetic, as it's a clad device that integrates into your body. Okay, we should roll.
Oh shit, I just threw one of my dice on the floor. Uh-oh. What'd you get?
I mean, it'd be really impressive if you got lower than me. I got a 9.
Well, I got 800 or 80.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, never mind then.
Well, we were good.
As this thing magnetically attaches to your the back of your armor, shink, your HUD lights up as it says, like a like a browser extension. What'd you say?
Would you like to install the new device?
Would you like to install a new device?
No, it's plug and play. That's what it is.
That's right.
It doesn't ask.
It just does it. Gives you the little warning. It's the SSA. You have to go through all the screens and
Oh no, not the screens.
Do you agree or disagree? Fucking use
It
this.
takes.
I might be.
You have to log in with Gmail.
I might be
create an
dumb.
account.
Private Burgess. It's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but Private Burgess can scroll through an end user license agreement as fast as anyone and click OK.
It takes a minimum of 28 clicks.
I love it. In fact, you see, you have flamethrower. It's called Dragon's Breath, and it has charges on it that says 100%. as you get back to the crawler. I like that name, by the way. Get a narrative point, Dolby.
Oh, nice.
Actions on the rest of you. What are y'all doing?
I'm following Dolby out.
I am I'll look over at Eladrin. Yeah, Eladrin. And
What?
say
Aladdin?
Aladdin. I was confused. I thought you pronounced it somewhat differently. But anyway, that person, the wiggly eyebrow,
Aladdin.
the wiggle worm
No,
eyebrow.
Aladdin with an eye.
That's what it was. And say, well, you heard the offer I made them. You go ahead. You know, think about it for a little while, and we will sort this whole situation out and see how it goes.
Aladdin gives you a curt nod as you guys head out to the crawler. Silas, within minutes and moments at the same time, everyone spills out of the cave. About 5 minutes later, Burgess finds his way out.
Amazing.
As you guys mount the crawler,
Mounted.
Vesper,
Consensually, of course.
the eyeball appears again. Dolby. As you hear Alice say, "Engineer, and turn off your mic." Oh yeah, sorry. Dolby. Lieutenant Dolby. I have outfitted? I have designed an outfit for you.
Nice.
I have plotted out a course through the mountains that should keep us out of sensor range. Alice
Thank you,
is in the
Wilhelm.
back. Really? It was all you, all the echoing? Sorry, I didn't know it was my bike. Yeah, and I bet it was you breathing
tell he
too,
was
and eating
nosy.
them chips.
Wilhelm.
It's rude, you should mute before you eat chips.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Keep the chatter off the comms, please. These are intense situations. I need you to focus.
Is anyone?
I got two things, guys. Real quick before we get off track. Did you move my ship? And why is one? Anyone? Josh?
Okay, you're gonna have to take
Josh.
that again.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking
please,
to me.
Josh.
As Alice pipes up, sorry, sir. We didn't know who you were talking to. What do you mean we're moving? Do you want the ship moved?
No, you moved the ship. Somebody told me you moved the ship. Am I wrong about that?
No, of course not. You didn't give the order to move the ship. We're right where you left us, sir.
Okay. Well, keep. If you got to move the ship for better cover, you can. But I think we should keep it where it is, and you guys should hold down the fort. Number two, Wilhelm. I've done some research on getting you back to some of your people. I made a contact. They may be aligned with you, and I'll give you more information as I find out. So we should be good to getting you home safe and sound.
The blue light, which is almost like an eye, it doesn't turn to you, Dolby, but it's sort of this all-seeing eye. Vesper does not respond.
It's not Confucius, but I do have word and have made contacts that are not related to the ruler of this particular planet.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And with that, let's take a break. Go refresh yourself, refresh your drinks. Refresh yourself. And we will montage after this through the mountain. Through the mountain.
Gondor calls for aid.
Downward calls for aid.
That's pretty good.
Pretty funny.
Can I give you a narrative point for that?
You can just have a narrative point. So you guys are aware, players. I said this a long time ago, and I just haven't changed it on the Twitch, which I need to. Players can gift pips and narrative points. However, it costs you 1,000 dread points to do it.
Well, I've got 23,000 dread points.
The reason it costs 1,000 for players, because you guys are going to have lots and lots and lots of them. So,
let's
10 minutes.
I did give the Arbiter one.
We'll
earlier.
mond.
I don't know if you.
Oh, I saw him. I was taking liberties. We'll montage, and you guys could actually make it. Holy shit! To the colony. Holy shit! We'll see how we get distracted. All right.
Okay, bye.
Holker, would you like to lead us out?
Lead us out.
Holker is gone. Holker's fucking like. He's out.
DreadLore is a game.
Well, he started with the sponsor.
Decisions.
Thank you
He
guys.
started with the sponsor, and you know, the sponsors. This is clearly the sponsor segment of the evening.
Thank you guys for sticking with us for the first half. Hope you stick around for the second half of tonight's game of Into Space. We'd like to thank the cast we have with us. I'm Drizzle. We have Ken, Andrea, Holker, Bill, Max, and Jazzy Cabbage all here. We'd also like to thank all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt for the music. We'd like to thank our Patreon people, Nostalgic Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Holker. If you're interested, go to Patreons/DreadLore and join us and help support us. Also, thanks to Couchfire Media for all the pretty things that you see.
Fire.
And thanks to Replay Productions for whatever they do.
Fire.
Stick around for the second half.
Subscribe today, citizen, and become a soldier.